Welcome back. We're beginning our general session 2, and year after year, the evaluations tell us that the best parts of Show Me Rotary include the inspiration that's provided by our keynote speakers. We're very fortunate today to have our president-elect for Rotary International joining us live, and David McCoy will do his introduction in just a moment. But first, I'll introduce David. David is from the Kansas City Rotary Club, and he has done superior service as his club's camp director and worked tirelessly and put in the sweat equity to keep the camp infrastructure operating. The camp serves organizations that serve developmentally disabled children. In addition to his service in the Rotary camp, David serves as our Rotary Foundation founders asked us to serve, sharing his vocational skills. And in that realm, as an IT business owner, he serves at the club, district, and zones level to assist with virtual meetings like these and technology. David?
Good afternoon, my fellow Rotarians and friends. There are many Rotarians that have served before us and from whom we have learned a great deal. Chief among these is our own Ray Klingingsmith, who served as Rotary International President in 2010-2011. I invite you to visit our website and look at the Join Leaders tab to view information about Ray and other senior leaders who have served and continue to serve our 3 districts. At Show Me Rotary, we hope to show the global scope and effective reach of our organization. That global scope is one of Rotary's powers, and today we emphasize that global scope. At the virtual International Assembly that we attended in February, President-elect Shekhar unveiled the theme for the 21-22 Rotary year, Serve to Change Lives. The theme not only echoes the motto of Rotary, service above self, and Gandhi's leadership guidance, be the change you want to see in the world, it also reflects the president-elect's strongly held belief that service is the rent I pay for the space I occupy on this earth, and I want to be a good tenant of this earth. As mentioned in our first plenary session, each of our speakers today is being introduced with examples of their service leadership in Rotary. Shekhar is a super server in many ways. I don't know if many people have taken service more seriously than he has, as his resume reveals. He has provided service leadership in projects that resulted in the construction of 500 homes for tsunami survivors, started the shelter kit program in India, started Saving Little Hearts, a pediatric heart surgery program, conceptualized Nationwide Teach, a literacy program in India reaching 50,000 schools and 15 million children, assisted in taking e-learning programs to millions of children through television in India. He is the architect of Rotary's Total Literacy program in India, been instrumental in setting up more than 15 eye hospitals across India, providing 50,000 eye operations a year, started a scholarship program for marginalized children, and he is working with the government of India in the areas of water and sanitation, literacy, healthcare, environmental, and disaster management. While serving as Rotary International Director, he helped Rotary add 2 new countries, Bhutan and Maldives. You can find much more about Shekhar on Show Me Rotary's website and the Join Leadership tab. I hope you share that information with the members of your clubs. Shekhar has requested to speak for about 15 minutes today and would like to use the remainder of his time to answer your questions. So please go ahead and put your questions in the Q&A box as he speaks. From Shekhar's background of service leadership, we can see that we can learn a great deal from our next president of Rotary International. I now present you Rotary International President-elect Shekhar.
Hello, my dear Changemaker governors and Changemaker presidents. I'm delighted to be with all of you, 166 of you from 3 different districts, and you're going to show me Rotary. It's absolutely a privilege. It would have been a greater privilege meeting each and every one of you in person, shaking hands with you, having some coffee, chatting a little, discussing Rotary and other things. But well, that seems to be for another day. Today, it's going to be virtual, just as everything in this world today is. Changemaker presidents, the next 16 months can turn out to be the most exciting year or 16 months of your life. Yes, 30 years back, it was so for Rashi and me. When I became the president of my Rotary Club, I cannot forget what an extraordinary opportunity it was of serving and changing lives. So much so that the March issue of the Rotary magazine took an interview of me and asked me, what would you prefer, president of Rotary International or president of your Rotary Club? And my answer was president of my Rotary Club. That's how important your year can be. So make the most of it, make it the most happening year, and together we will grow more and do more. So let's first discuss grow more. Grow more as in more Rotary clubs, do more as in bigger, better, bolder projects. Membership of our organization has been an issue for many years. 20 years back, when I was nominated to be the governor of Rotary, the membership of Rotary was at 1.2 million. 10 years later, I was nominated to be on the board of directors. The membership was still at 1.2 million. 10 years from then, I was nominated to be the president of Rotary. The membership was still at 1.2 million. Now, cannot the 1.2 million of us change that to 1.3 million? Well, you may say that's a crazy task, a tall task. Trying to do something in 16 months, what we have failed to do in 16 years. Well, friends, I think it is absolutely possible. All we need to do is each one bring one. You just help do that, each one bring one, and I tell you, we will touch 1.3 million. You don't worry about the 1.3 million. We will reach there as long as you are ready to just bring one person to Rotary. It's not difficult. I cannot see 168 of you, but how about each of you raising a hand to say, how many of you in the next 16 months will bring just one member to Rotary? Just one member to Rotary. Can you all raise your hands? I don't need to see you, but I can visualize that nearly 90% of you must have raised your hands. Because this is the third pets of the day. 2 pets, both in America, one at 4 in the morning, one 3 hours back, both had 90% of the people raising their hands. And I have asked this question to 25,000 people across the world. Australia, Japan, India, Pakistan, South Africa, African countries, America, South America, Europe, everywhere the response has been. When I said, how many of you will bring one member to Rotary? The hand went up. Thank you. You can put down your hands, friends. I can tell you, all you need to do is just go back to the presidents, go back to your clubs. Ask the same question to each and every member of your club. Ask them, and I tell you, the response will be 90% of them will raise their hands. Getting one member is not a problem. And let everyone understand that getting members in Rotary is an individual responsibility, not a collective responsibility. I need to do my bit. David needs to do his bit. Joan needs to do her bit. And each of us need to do our bit, and that's just getting one member. Even as we get these members, let's remember that we need some younger members in our organization, and we definitely need more women. Let there be diversity. Let our clubs be as diverse as our community itself is. Our club should be a reflection of our community, and that's how diverse they need to be. Diversity, after all, is one of the core values of our organization. Let us also attract more Rotaractors, becoming more young people becoming Rotaractors, and more Rotaractors becoming Rotarians. Can we ensure easy transition of Rotaractors to become Rotarians? Friends, even as we get in these members, so many of them, as they come from the front door, let them not slip out of the back door, which means we need to retain each and every member that we get. So each one bring one and retain all. And retention is going to come through engagement. And I see that this pandemic has given us amazing opportunity of engagement. I don't think ever before we have been able to engage our people as well, or connect our people to others as well as we have been over the virtual world. Friends, my own Rotary Club, at one regular weekly meeting, we could get 2,400 people at a regular weekly meeting. We would not have been able to get that many in an entire year if those were to be in-person meetings. And we called one of the best speakers in India. People pay thousands of rupees to get to listen to him. And here they were ready to listen to him on the virtual world. Another time we got the governor of West Bengal, my own state, and we had 800 people coming and listening to him. People were engaged. People are doing projects over the virtual world. They are doing fundraisers over the virtual world. Engagement is possible. So let's leverage the virtual world and engage more and more people. If your clubs are not meeting, if they are not meeting even virtually, then there is a bit of an issue. I would suggest please go back and ensure that your club definitely meets virtually if it's not meeting in person. So friends, we will each one bring one and we'll retain all by engaging each and every one. The last segment of Grow Rotary is going to come from starting new clubs. Rotary is giving amazing flexibility for new clubs. There are passport clubs, global clubs, there are satellite clubs, cause-based clubs, virtual clubs, hybrid clubs, you name it, you just have to use your imagination. I will put all my bet on hybrid and virtual world. That's what the clubs are going to be in the future. I'm asking my own club to be a hybrid club. Each of our meetings now is an in-person meeting, as well as it's beamed out to people who are unable to come because of the pandemic or even otherwise. Cause-based clubs are just waiting to be started. Back home, I'm aware of a club where people who are interested in WASH programs around the world, they've started a Rotary Club. Another one where people who are promoting the cause of art and culture. So the members of that club are artists, singers, painters, sculptors. Must be an interesting club. Also, please find areas where there are no clubs and let's get more clubs started. Friends, with so many more members, with Grow More, we'll be able to do more. Do more as in bigger, better, bolder projects. I feel for an organization which is 116 years old, which has a footprint in more countries than even United Nations has, and for an organization which is about to eradicate a disease from the face of earth, I think our legacy is extremely, extremely strong and powerful. So our projects and programs have to be of a scale big enough to be able to even play a role in the nation building process. And I tell you from experience, we have done it with polio. When polio went away from Nigeria and all of Africa, did we not play a role in the health system of Nigeria or the health system of India? Polio has gone, but let me tell you, the infrastructure that we created because of polio is going to remain there. And we have played a role in the health system as far as India and 123 other countries. 2 countries are left. It's a big deal. So our programs and projects can be, and I tell you from experience, as I said, very recently during the pandemic, our president called, he made an appeal on the television that they were going to start 12 channels from standard 1 to 12 standard. For each standard, there would be 1 television channel, and they wanted content. In 1 month's time, we signed an agreement with the government of India, and in 3 months' time thereafter, we provided the entire curriculum. So now 250 million students in India have access to the content that we have provided on the television channels, as well as the largest portal for education around the world, where millions and millions of hits are getting done on each day. And that's where Rotary created content is houses there. So friends, programs and projects of scale can be done. I would suggest that you have great opportunity of doing great work. You know, service, when we think of service a little deep, it can become a way of life. It did for me. When I joined Rotary, I was just 25 years old, and service was the last thing on my mind. My life was cushy, comfortable. I did not know what the pains and lackings or the problems of other people were. Till one day, my Rotary Club took me 50 kilometers away from my city. And what I saw there, I was aghast. While I lived in the comforts of a 4-bedroom apartment with every room air conditioned, lavish, absolutely, here were homes which did not even have toilets. Not a single home in that village had a toilet. The water that they drank came from the same pond where they bathed, and their buffalo also bathed. The only school that was there was under a shade of a tree. If it rained, there were no classes. If the teacher did not come, the children were happy there were no classes because there was only one teacher. The black charcoal painted wall was the only blackboard those children had seen. Healthcare, they did not even know what healthcare centers were. There wasn't any. And friends, that's when I realized that this world had 2 parts. One where there was an abundance, and one where there was very little. And we as Rotarians found a great opportunity of serving people where there was less and changing their lives. So if I have done it in my own community, I'm sure you have found great opportunities, just as our governor-elect has found his opportunity of being able to serve in his community. I'm sure so many of you have found an opportunity to be able to serve. If you do not have enough opportunity in your backyard, the world is your courtyard. How about going and serving in Africa, in Nepal, in Bangladesh, in South America? Great opportunities, whether it is water, sanitation, empowering people, economic and community development, environmental issues. There is so much we can do, and there are so many lives we can change by our service activities there. Friends, I would suggest, if your opportunities in your area is not enough, how about doing a project, let's say water wells in Angola, in a village in Angola. And I tell you, when you sink those 20 bore wells there, do not just write checks and give DDI. See what the project does. So when the bore wells have been sunk and the water is about to gush out, how about having a virtual meeting with your club members on this side and their club members and the project on that other side? And then when your club members sitting here see that water gushing out on parched land, and the children there frolicking, happy, the women there, the men absolutely dancing because there is water now. And you have been able to provide that water sitting halfway across the world. Or next time when you do a project for children in Afghanistan, 20 of the children in Afghanistan have got their heart surgeries done. Children, little beautiful children, age 3, 4, 5, 8, 10 years old. And when 20 of their heart surgeries have been done, ask them to be present at a Zoom meeting in Afghanistan, and you sit in your club meeting and talk to these children, talk to their parents, know their story. And I tell you, tears will roll down your cheek. Each of them is such a heart-rending story because you have changed lives of not only those children, but their entire family. Friends, even as we keep doing these wonderful acts of service across the world, for the forthcoming year, can we use the lens of empowering girls in everything that we do? So, empowering girls is going to be the overarching theme for the next year. There is so much that can be done for empowering girls. Even in today's time and age, girls are either disadvantaged or discriminated against in every part of the world in different degrees. Find out what you can do for empowering girls in your area and across the world. How about ensuring that they do not drop out of schools? How about providing scholarships to girls? How about skilling them so that they can earn for themselves? How about providing them menstrual hygiene management? There is so much that can be done for empowering girls. And even as we do this, let us tell our story to the rest of the world. It's so important. You know, we Rotarians are very good at telling our stories, but we are good at telling it to ourselves. We need to tell it to the outside world. We have great stories. Every heart surgery done is a story to be told. Each borewell sunk is a story to be told about a village. Each time we serve to change lives, there is a story. Let's share those stories. And we will have 2 presidential initiatives to share those stories. One, the 7 presidential conferences across the world in Korea, Philippines, India, Mozambique, Italy, and America, and Brazil. The last one is going to be, each of these are going to be on areas of focus, and the last one will be on peace, and that's going to be at Houston. Of course, let us all meet at Houston because we have not been able to meet now. That's where the next convention also is going to be. So I wait to meet each and every one of you there, and I would like to listen to you, what you did for the Rotary Days of Service. Another opportunity of showcasing our wonderful work to the rest of the people around the world. Do participate in the Rotary Days of Service. You'll be able to know about it a little more very soon. Let me end today's talk with what I had said about the theme, Serve to Change Lives, when I had launched it. It goes like this: the biggest gift we are given is the power to touch a life, to change, to make a difference in the circle of life. If we can reach out with our hand, heart, and soul, the magic will begin to happen as the wheel begins to roll. Let's turn the wheel together so all humanity thrives. We have the power and the magic to serve, to change lives. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shekhar, for that very inspirational speech. We do have a few questions for you that have come in. The first question is, during your theme introduction, you referenced the quote, "Service is the rent I pay for the space I occupy on this earth, and I want to be a good tenant of this earth." Tell us a little bit more about how you learned of this quote and why it has special meaning to you.
So it has a special meaning, as I said. I live in a country where there is a lot of need because of the large population. India is a country, you know, where there are skyscrapers, and next to it there are hutments. There is progress so much that we are in space. We are wanting to go in the wanting to go to other planets, and yet there are villages even today where there are no toilets at their homes. It's ebony and ivory. And as Rotary gave me opportunity to be able to visit these places, I realized that there is so much that needs to be done for others. And when you start doing things for others, when you start caring for them, sharing for them, thinking of them even before you think of yourselves, I think that starts growing on you. Service suddenly becomes a way of life for you. It has become for me. over the last 15 years, Rashi and I, we decided that doing good in the world, helping others is now going to be the sole motto of our lives. And that's what we do. And so it struck me one day that I think it's a good quote, service is the rent I pay for the space I occupy on this earth. We don't pay anything else. So why not serve other people? That's the best way to repay. Like I say, you cannot repay the debts of your parents. The only way you can do is by becoming good parents of your children.
So did you ever have the opportunity to meet Mother Teresa, the ultimate example of service above self?
Oh, absolutely. More than once, many times. And it was amazing, amazing woman. I mean, epitome of service, absolutely. Served with love, absolutely. Served with passion, selflessly. I mean, it's unbelievable. That lady lived in a room which was not even 10 feet by 8 feet. That's where she lived.
So I'm sure because of your Rotary leadership responsibilities, you're no longer able to attend the Friday meetings of your home club. So what is the one thing that you miss the most about your club meetings?
So if I am in town, I will go to my Rotary Club meeting. But unfortunately, last 1 year, the meetings have not been taking place. So there have been some virtual meetings. I've attended some of them. As I said, those 2 meetings I talked about, I attended both of them. There were many others that I attended. What do I miss most? Okay, I miss meeting my club members in person. It's a great feeling going to that Friday meeting of our club, meeting friends, spending some time with them, listening to a good speaker, planning the projects that we do. These are friends for a lifetime. I always say in my times of joy and sorrow, if there are 10 people standing next to me, 9 would definitely be Rotarians.
So when you were club president, did you have the idea of each one reach one, bring one? And how successful were you as club president in increasing your club's membership?
You know, over the years, I must have got more than 75 members into Rotary myself. But membership was not the biggest focus for me, service was. So I am surprised myself also that having come to this position, suddenly I have given so much stress on membership. That's because I found this one thing missing in our organization, that why is it that it has taken 20 years and we have not been able to move even a little bit. So that's the reason the focus has come. I don't think at that time, 30 years back, my focus was so much on membership. It was natural for us to get 10, 15 members each year. So we must have got that. I don't even remember today, but service was the main focus at that time. And it always remained. I would say the biggest emphasis on membership for me has come only when I was nominated to be the president. I started looking at the world view and I realized the membership at the world wasn't growing. And I see no reason why it cannot grow. Today, I've not been able to see how many people raise their hands, but I tell you, I've been to, David, I've been to a few hundred such meetings. 25,000 Rotarians I've spoken. Just about 10 days back, in one day, I spoke to 2,500 Rotarians, all incoming presidents in 6 different pets in one day. The response is amazing. All we need to do is follow up. If all the people who have raised their hands are followed up, I tell you, we'll reach our goal of membership growth.
So can you tell us a little bit about the thought process and what it took to develop your theme for this year?
Good question. I love answering this question every time that it's asked of me. With this emphasis in my life on serving, my own mantra for life, as you've just mentioned, service is the rent I pay. I'm deeply inspired by people like Gandhi, etc. also, who lived his life serving others. I'll just tell you quickly. once Gandhi was getting up on a train, and as he was getting up, one of his slippers fell down. His immediate reaction was to throw the other slipper where the previous one had fallen. His friend asked, "But why did you do that?" He said, "Somebody will get that one slipper. What good will it be to that person? So I threw the other one." So here was a man who wasn't thinking of himself. He was thinking of others even before he was thinking of himself. So service over the years has become the mainstay of my life itself. So it was very evident that my theme would contain the word service. Then we were about 8-10 people trying to decide, and they said, but that would not be a call to action. So making it a call to action became serve. And when you serve, what happens? The logical answer is we change lives. So it became serve to change lives. And you see that hand, that's for giving, that's for serving. In India, if you serve, this is how you keep your hands. This is the giving hand, this is the serving hand. And on that hand, you see the entire world. So we are serving the entire world, and the different colors represent the diversity of our world, of our organization in this world.
So what's the best advice you have for a club president to lead in such a way that keeps members engaged and involved?
First, start having meetings virtually if you are not meeting in person. The most important thing you need to do, because otherwise there's going to be a dip in your club's membership, and it's very difficult to get up from that dip. That's one. Second, each one bring one. Please do not forget that mantra. Do not think in terms of 10% growth, 5% growth, 5 members, 10 members. No, each one needs to bring one. And I tell you, suddenly you'll see results which are unthinkable, absolutely. Thirdly, do projects and programs of a scale. Whether you wish to do it in your backyard, if there is a need, first meet it in the backyard. But if there isn't, then the world is your play field. Please do programs and projects there with the lens of empowering girls.
So we have a couple of club presidents that dream of doing more with international partners. What is the best way to go about forging these new relationships?
So you need to get in touch with a gentleman called David, who is the incoming governor of 60/40. And all the other governors, they have a group, we have a group, a Facebook group where if David, you were to post that you were looking for some projects on a particular thing, I tell you, you'll get response in abundance, absolutely. And in any case, if you want to do some projects anywhere, you wanted to write to me, I'll be able to get you partners from across the world, or tell you places where you can do projects across the world. But the best place is that our Facebook group. I hope you're a member of that Facebook group that we have. And I would say the same thing to Joan also, who happens to be the incoming governor for 60/80. I don't know which is who the third incoming governor. Unfortunately, I do not know. Would be very happy to ask her also to do the same thing.
That would be Margie out of 60/60.
Okay,
so is Rotary working on other projects with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation besides polio?
As of now, directly, no, because they do not want to focus away from polio. But I'll give you an example. Very recently, the program of scale, which is in Zambia for malaria, there the amount that Rotary has given is $2 million, and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has matched it. And there are others who have matched it. So indirectly, yes, they are supporting different parts of the world, but directly, we are working only on polio with them.
So for me, as the incoming district governor, one of the things I'm looking most forward to is being able to go out and visit with the 56 clubs in my district. So as the new incoming Rotary International president, what is the one thing you are most looking forward to in your upcoming year?
I want to change the myth that Rotary cannot grow. it can, and it can grow hugely, because one growth takes care of so many things. More people means more contribution to the organization, more contribution to the Rotary Foundation, more projects, more ideas, more hands to serve. So service automatically is taken care of if we get more members.
So as our final question for today, what goals or targets do you see Rotary moving towards in the future as we begin, hopefully, to end polio?
Sorry, I didn't get your question.
So hopefully we end polio, what do you believe the next initiative that Rotary is going to take on?
It's a little far away to think of that right now, because even if tomorrow is the last case of polio in this world, it will still take at least 5 years for us to get certified as polio free. Only then will we be able to go back to the council and legislation to decide on what, if at all, any of our programs will be an area of focus. There are crying needs. Literacy, if you took care of literacy, I think everything else would have been taken care of. Water sanitation, crying need, environment, our sustenance, our sustainability, existence depends on environment. But my personal favorite would be literacy. If the world is literate, we will be sensible enough to take care of our environment, we'll preserve water, we will care for sanitation, we'll skill people, and the world will be a happy place to live in.
Thank you very much, sir, for that very inspirational and informative message today, and also for your Rotary service too. I'm sure out there, everyone sees you as a role model as to what can be achieved through Rotary and are inspired to do even more in their service in their communities. One of the things you talked about was the Rotary Days of Service. Here in the United States, there are 2 days that they're known as National Days of Service. That is September 11th and January 17th, Martin Luther King's birthday. I'm really encouraging my clubs that on both or one of those 2 days that they go out and do a community service in their project to follow along with your ideas of a Rotary Days of Service.
Wonderful.
As a token of our appreciation, Show Me Rotary is making a contribution to the polio eradication in your name. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, David, and thank you, everyone. Thank you, John, and thank you, Margie. Look forward to working together. And my dear Changemaker presidents, let's go change this world to become a little better on 30th June 2022 than what we've got today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. My fellow Rotarians and friends, please remember that you can find out more about Shekhar and his accomplishments and objectives for the upcoming year in the Join Leaders tab on the Show Me Rotary website, showmerotary.org. We wanted to add a little fun to Show Me Rotary this year, and to accomplish that, we have planned some drawings. Next up on the schedule is Rebecca Kuzi from 6060 to announce the winners from each district for the Paul Harris Fellowships. Rebecca?
Thanks, David. So as we stated in our registration materials for pets, all our president-elects and our president nominees who registered by February 28th, which was our early bird drawing time period, were eligible to win a Paul Harris Fellowship. And as most of you know, it takes $1,000 to earn your first Paul Harris Fellowship. And so the folks that I'm going to announce here in just a minute will have that honor in their name, or if they're already a Paul Harris Fellow, they'll receive their second or their third Paul Harris Fellowship. So all early bird registrants were entered in that drawing. And if we can bring the slide up. Excellent. We have 3 winners. From District 6040, we have Andrew Windhorst from St. Joseph Club. From District 6060, we have Jeffrey Wilson from the Wentzville Club. And from District 6080, we have Brian Weiler from the Springfield Downtown Club. Congratulations to Andrew, Jeffrey, and Brian. Cassie Venters is going to be in contact with you to obtain the information that we need in order to present your award to you. So I also wanted to just mention briefly, all president-elects and president nominees who registered early by that February 28th time period should have already received a care package with some great items in it. Perhaps you're enjoying them today. So there's a picture of the slide of your care package up on the screen. If for some reason you did not receive your care package, please reach out to your district governor. Again, these were for those who registered by the 28th, and we'll get one sent to you. I believe that's all I have. So back to you, David.
Thank you, Rebecca. Just as a reminder, Rebecca will rejoin us for more awards and prizes at the end of our third general session this afternoon. We also want to remind you to be thinking about evaluations and your preferences on your Show Me Rotary sessions. Please make some notes for yourself as you go along. We've just completed our second general session, and our technology host will now give you some more information on logging on and being prepared for our next session and your lunch break.